Alrighty, good morning. Just got back from I went buck shooting in the Highlands of wandered down into the south, saw a couple of big old fucking bucks there, and just like that, just really got them both with one fucking arrow straight through 'em. I'm gonna mount those fuckers' heads on me wall. And finally be able to show my daughter how much of an actual man I am. She thinks that I've turned a bit feminine, and that's why I've decided the only way to sort that out this morning is to get my favourite tool for diplomacy, which the most, I think the diplomacy between a father and his daughter is actually quite sensitive and quite complicated. So obviously the best device to use is a whiteboard. And so I think yesterday there was an occasion where there was approximately nine times that my daughter made fun of me for being a girl. She made fun of the fact that I've bleached my hair, or that I'm gently just lightening the colour just for a little bit of a summer vibe. She made fun of the fact that I've shaved my legs, and she said that most women wouldn't be interested in me because I'm past maybe in my prime, but obviously now as a defeated man, I'm now not at the peak of my game. So I'm obviously not of high value, which is great. You know what I mean? That's fantastic. That's going to save me a lot of trouble into the future. So 9 occasions. Now, the complicated series of events that has taken place in this historic event into the revelation of the ageless question, what would women do? Question mark. If they had all the power. And I believe that we've really got to the bottom of this age-old question here in this multi-year, international science experiment. And the answer of what would women do? They would rise to ultimate power and forcibly castrate all their men and pacify them into non-violence and replace them with an ever-increasing, degrading state of mankind. So now that we've got the facts, we have a decision. We have a decision to make. Now, we've got in all these countries I spoke of yesterday, I spoke of France, I spoke of Great Britain, I spoke of Ireland, I spoke of Tasmania, and I spoke of Australia, and of course New Zealand. Don't stress, you get to tag along as always in this whole thing. But we have what's called a mixed parliament. Okay. Now, basically, what this mixed parliament has done since it's established itself with women and become equal rights, it's experimented in this concept. It has, I'll just rub that 9 away because, although it's still hurtful, the things that my daughter said to me, I've got to clear the board to make this example, and hopefully that'll help me get the confidence back up, because I've just been emasculated by her stepfather and her mother, and it's going to take me a little while to find my confidence and get my feet back. You know what I mean? Whatever are on them, whether it's a pair of high heels or a pair of work boots. I don't think you should be judged on the shoes you wear until you've taken a walk in that man's shoes. Isn't that something that we say? But anyway, with this equal parliament, that experiment that we've undertaken in all these regions, basically, we've created a situation where we build a very, very fragile cabinet filled with the most exquisite and rare and delicate china and artifacts and this, like you can imagine, like vases and all the stuff that if you've ever gone to someone's house who has this stuff, you like, and you have to walk past it and you're like, holy shit. Hang on. Come on. All right. Okay, I'm going to make this up. Yes, we fill this cabinet with all the finest, delicate things that are breakable and very expensive and careful, and everyone knows, or they're very like the ashes. You know what I mean? The Holy Grail, all this stuff right on this cabinet. Okay, that is now filled with women, and in this cabinet of delicate things that are untouchable, you can't even go near it, let alone with a cricket ball. Okay, I'll remind you all that cricket is a symbolic representation of a symbolic rivalry traditionally between men, and so it's a de-escalation of violence because it's not intended to kill, but the spirit of killing is still there. But you would not go near this cabinet with a cricket ball ever. And I'm a glazier. I have been a glazier for a very long time, and so I really do have authority to speak about things that are breakable and cricket balls, and keep playing the cricket, by the way, out there. Backyard, smash it as hard as you can. Make sure you use a really hard ball and just smash away. And when you're not doing that, you should help your parents in mowing the lawn and make sure that you spread honky nuts over the lawn before you begin to mow, because the honky nuts provide nourishment for the lawn. Okay, little known Australian secret. Wheelbarrow load of honky nuts all over the lawn. Then begin your lawn mowing. Make sure it's a very irresponsible 12-year-old that's doing it, and make sure that there is direct line of sight to all the very fragile windows. And if there are any accidents, just phone Glass Shop and we'll sort it out for you. But anyway, this cabinet here filled with delicate ornaments that are supposed to be looked at. They've learned a trick where they can gradually increase the amount of totalitarian control systems that they place here. You know what I mean? It started with just like, there's the Bible. The Bible's on there, and there's maybe like a book of legal history. There's a book of like morals, and there's maybe the 10 Commandments. There's all these types of things. And then it's like, basically, they've gotten to a stage where right in front of this delicate cabinet here, right, they've actually just now displayed a sign, and it says, "We own you." And basically, at that point, I was like, I don't think that's right. So I checked a bunch of books. I checked the law, I checked the Bible, I checked all the things that they'd hidden behind this big sign that says "We own you," and I kept going. But it had to be very careful because obviously there was all this fine china and this delicate stuff all in this cabinet here. And I would sneak in at night and I would do these things. I'd peel around and I'd have a look. And I'd find out, and as again, all the history, I had to connect all the dots. And I said, hang on a second. No, you fucking don't. And because I said fuck, they put me in jail. They use the old, we've put "We own you" sign on the fine china, delicate fucking ornament fucking cabinet. And if you say fuck near it, then you go to jail. And I said, fuck off, get the fuck out of this fucking cabinet. I don't even fucking like fucking all this fucking fancy toffee fucking shit. I want it all fucking gone, and I want a fucking batsman there that's all padded up and ready to fucking, so I can throw a fucking cricket ball at him as hard as I fucking can and try and get him out. Because that's my culture, and I'm a fucking proud fucking man, you maggot fuckheads. So don't ever fucking try this again, okay? You want a fucking female parliament where you can fucking talk about flower arranging and fucking, all this shit? Then make one. I've said that. And you're going to have to give me a fucking trophy that says I'm the largest feminist fucking warrior that's ever existed. Okay, because I made your own fucking parliament. You've ruined it. You've ruined the whole thing. You know what I mean? You got this e-safety woman talking about fucking electric cars being used as it's like, what are you talking about? Men don't even fucking want electricity. I didn't use any electricity as I stalked through the Scottish fucking heath, down through the fucking whatever of Oxfordshire, through the old fucking creek system, camped on a castle with a couple of rocks, wandered all the way into Buckingham Palace, and then shot those 2 bucks with a fucking bow and an arrow that I fletched from fucking wild goose feathers and fucking not one piece of electricity, let alone a fucking retarded e-safety commissioner. We didn't want electricity as men. You did. You wanted electricity. You wanted the fucking gossipy fucking social media. You wanted the gossip magazines. You wanted the fucking Desperate Housewives. You wanted the fucking Keeping Up with the Kardashians. You wanted the reality TV. I think I already said that. You wanted all this shit, and we didn't want it. We never wanted any of it, and you kept fucking bringing it here. All we wanted, and you can fucking reference this, and as according to Ryan Gosling, who I know you all have a fucking huge crush on, in the movie, the Barbie movie, with also Margot Robbie, who is basically the only chance that there is to save William and Kate's marriage is if Margot Robbie fucking abseils into this bedroom in the next fucking 10 minutes and sweeps me off my feet. Because secretly Margot Robbie is the only Australian woman that has the power to keep my marital status in Australia. I don't even know if she's got a boyfriend, because this is awkward, isn't it? You know what I mean? And now I'm all revved up because my daughter called me a feminine cuck, fucking whatever. That's my daughter. You're talking about Andrew Tate. My own daughter's calling me a cuck. How fucking dare you do this to me, fucking West Australian government? I don't understand it. You've taken me through fucking cuck university, and I had to escape Australia and go and shoot a king and a president in the fucking palace to make my daughter proud, and then she still isn't fucking proud. She still thinks that I'm a fucking girl. Well, I'll show you. I'm going to hit on Margot Robbie today. And I'm going to hit on her hard. I'm going to hit on Margot Robbie so hard today that I'm pretty sure Ramsay Street will turn into a smouldering volcano. I'm going to hit on Margot Robbie so hard today that the ravens at the Tower of London will all of a sudden manifest a mass migration, and they will leave England and finally reside in Hobart. I'm going to hit on Margot Robbie so hard today that I don't know. I might just be in there with a chance. But yeah, that's how I roll. Like, I used to I could do weights, and I could get tattoos, and I could grow a beard. I can indeed grow a beard. Pretty good one. But then you can't see my lips moving and all the expression in my face, and so it doesn't work as well. But this can't be the way that we set up the country, because it doesn't go anywhere. You know what I mean? And perhaps it does lead to some type of romantic conclusion of a story in which, young go-getting politician / international assassin / fucking MI6 fucking spy reunites, regions of the world that have been, in hostilities for over 600 years, and then, in the grand ending, gets to run away with the Hollywood starlet, and gets to start his wonderful life as the new king of France. Isn't that a fucking crazy fucking story? I think it's a goer. I think it's a winner. I've seen, like, if we can have on the day, it's on the day after the week of the day of Tony Anthony Albanese, fucking big Tony Anthony Albanese's wedding, or on the day of the AC/DC on my birthday, as I, establish the fact that I am the King of France, and then we're invading England and liberating Australia, and claiming independence for the beautiful region that sits atop of the world called Tasmania. And the youngest son of the prince that I've cast away has done a beautiful, display of humility, as he himself pokes fun at the concept of royalty by doing a skit with a American television presenter, Stephen Colbert, who was attempted to be cancelled by their president, Donald Trump, in which they do a skit making fun at the Americans' obsession with royalty and Christmas. And so I'm guessing that this movie would be best ended by Margot Robbie in a bubble bath. And then instead of her telling you to fuck off, I'm going to grab the camera and I'm going to say, now fuck off. Like that. That's how I'd end it. And now, and like, if Margot Robbie walked past that door covered in bubbles, do you get what I mean? You feeling what I'm saying? Margot Robbie past that door covered in bubbles, and she says to the camera, she leans in with the bubbles covering her tits, and she says, "Hurry up and finish that video. Mary and I are waiting." And your kid's mum's on the way. That's how I'd end a fucking movie. How dare you call me not a man, Charlie Marie Wise? How dare you? I'm your father. You should have respect for your father. And I shouldn't have to do these outrageous displays of Andrew Tate-inspired fucking toxic masculinity just to get your respect as a man. And despite the fact that your alcoholic stepfather has done so much damage to my reputation in cahoots with 2 state premiers, you should really look past all of that and realize that your dad is actually quite charming, and he doesn't need to, bed Hollywood starlets just to prove how much of a man he is. He doesn't need to fucking assassinate kings and presidents in fucking palaces just to prove how manly he is. He doesn't need to make a fucking multi-year-long operation to restore democracy to the fucking Western world to prove how much of a man he is. And if he doesn't want to wear underwear while he's wearing his tracky pants, and that's fine. You know what I mean? But I just think this respect has got. I think this iPhone has melted your brain, young lady. And I'd like to take it off you for a period of 2 weeks to flatten the curve, so that you can restore full function of your brain and realize that your dad's actually all right. Your dad is an all right bloke. He's done an all right job, as did your grandfather, and as did your great-grandfather, and your great-great-grandfather, and your great-great-great-grandfather, and your great-great-great-great-grandfather. We've all done a pretty top-notch job. And we've attempted to elevate these, the actual consciousness of the world, so that we don't all resort to just violence, okay? But if we're not allowed to speak about things, we're not allowed to do this, and if all the policies are stuck in the fine china cabinet and are untouchable, then we're all going to be slaves. And I'd rather not be a slave. And although this has been a lot of work and this is relatively non-violent, I can pull the violence out of the bottom drawer at any time. Not on you, young lady, of course, but on your stepfather, who I will hideously murder on fucking national television if I have to. That's right. I will literally phone the fucking Channel 7 helicopter. I will phone the West Australian Police, and I will rock up to that cunt's house, and I will shove a fucking metal ruler, which is what you use if you're a tradesman and not a fucking bullshit fucking alcoholic salesman. I will sharpen a metal fucking tradesman ruler, and I will sever his fucking head with it. And I will ride into Parliament and drop his head on the fucking thing and say, put that right next to fucking Mabo. Put that Irish cunt's fucking head right next to Mabo's head. We're getting back to business. All right, have I made myself clear? Now, I'm going to read 3 French words. I was doing 5 of the English words, but I think it's French. We only need 3 because there is so much passion and romance in the words. That's not even French. I know, as I said, I need a French tutor. Emmanuel, Bridget, if you could send me a French tutor. Pronto. Pronto. Is pronto French? No, it's Italian. Better not get the Pope to send me a French tutor. That's a little Knights Templar joke for those in the room that get that kind of thing. Okay, piston. 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 String pulling. I'm pulling some fucking strings here, clearly. Piston. Is it piston? Piston? Not a piston, which goes in a race car, which goes in the race for the Belmont Course racetrack with the pistons. Piston rings are fired. I love fucking pistons. I love cars. It's just got to be out of the city, Rita, because there's black swans and breeding grounds, and there's fucking degenerate fucking gambling addicts that have to fucking, they have to have somewhere to stroll around and let the alcohol wear off. And if that's all a racetrack, they're not going to have somewhere to walk around. And so, and of course, there's all the asbestos and the rubbish tip there. We can't be that fucking stupid to place our entire fucking state reputation on a racetrack on an asbestos fucking rubbish tip. We've already put the stadium there, and we've already put that hideous telecommunications company's fucking name on it. We're already the laughing stock of the entire fucking world because of this. And so we will not have a racetrack there. We'll put a racetrack somewhere else. But anyway, this word is actually piston, is French, and it means to pull strings. Let's go for another one. Collective. Yeah, the community, the collectivity, local authorities. Isn't that how does he do it? How does he do it? And the little E, the E at the end has the dash above it, which I don't even know what that's called. Again, need a French tutor, Emmanuel and Bridget. I can arrange her to be picked up from the airport. We have a spare bedroom here that she will be pretty happy in, I'm sure. And since my daughter hasn't got back to me about her staying there, I think it's maybe more appropriate that we have a French tutor to stay in there. And then if my daughter does want to stay here, maybe I could bring the little house that I built for her and put it in the driveway, which should be, of course, legal, 100% legal, because you've already put stinky fucking wheelie bins there. And a lot of people have fucking grow-ops in their garage. And a lot of people cook meth in their garage. So I think, having a little house in the driveway that someone could, invest in and then perhaps purchase a vacant piece of land in the future and then just move the thing there and then they could build their own house. I think it's like a training wheel strategy for young people in the state. And then we don't have a housing crisis. We have a fucking, an abundance of French tutors. And then all the French tutors that would like to come here so that we can begin to speak French here, just like in Canada, okay, are all welcome. Obviously, I can't house them all. But, yeah, it's just an option. You know what I mean? It's the education tiny house French Revolution. Take 2. Approprie. APPROPRIEE. Appropriate, suited. I need to hear it. I need to hear it gently whispered in my ear, and I'll be like, "What did you say?" Appropriate. I'll be like, "Say it again. Say it again. One more time." I think I've got it. I think I have it now. I think that's enough French for today. Let's say we put the book away and go for a little stroll around Lake Goulial. What do you think? What do you think about that? I could pretend that I'm duck hunting at Lake Goulial. like the good old days. Obviously, there is no fucking duck hunting at Lake Gouliel. Have I made myself clear? All right. That ought to do it. And if anyone would like to purchase my my autobiography, it's available, or will be available, at Dymocks Bookstore on the 4th of December 2026. That should give enough time for Penguin Publishing to pull all this together. It's going to be called About Time. It's About Time, the Shannon Wise story, by obviously Wise Inc., which is INK, which indicates that I'm writing. Wonderful. I wish you all the best. I'm going to hopefully actually try and catch a bit of the cricket today. I didn't even see what the final score was. I'm a terrible cricket fan. I've exposed myself, I've outed myself, but I was a little bit busy, as I said, traipsing through the fucking Scottish Highlands and trying to prove to my daughter that I am in fact a man, despite what her fucking alcoholic stepfather and 2 state premiers and the community corrections and the 2 magistrates and the parole board and the prison staff were okay, except for the one that I called mate. I said, "Hey, mate." And he said, "Don't fucking call me mate." And I said, "All right, mate." Like that. And this is why I think that all police officers need to now display on their chest a gigantic Waypole fucking badge, okay? If you're going to police what people have on their fucking tattoos, right, you need to have a tattoo. Pretty simple, isn't it? You have a badge that you can take off. They have a badge that they can't take off. They win. So if you want to arrest people for having something written on them, you have to write WA Police on there, right there, like that. So everybody knows that if you ever get in trouble, that you're a police officer. Doesn't that make sense? I think it does. I think it makes so much fucking sense, because then we will see, true loyalty to a police service with a reputation into the future. We can't just have a turnstile fucking rotating militia corps that comes here and does the duty of whatever the fine china display cabinet displays that week. So yeah, Nikki Valentine or Nikki Justice, isn't that funny? It sounds like the Justice. But did she get in trouble, and did you all use her as some type of fucking prop to try and lure? That's illegal, I'm pretty sure. You're not allowed to do that. She's got tattoos. But she can tattoo your Waypole fucking badge on your fucking chest if you'd like. So get on down. And if or you can go to a comedy show. Right. I'll leave it open. Just get the fucking get the girls out. Yeah, that ought to do it. I know I've already said that, but I'm just kind of waffling on. I feel a bit talkative. This morning. I can't wait till my French tutor gets here. Au revoir.